Moments from now, viewers, India Supreme Court will resume the hearing pleas in the rape and murder case of a trainee doctor at Kolkata's RG Medical College and Hospital. Now, as per reports, the Central Bureau of Investigation, the CBI and Kolkata Police have submitted their status reports on the case following the top court's order. The court is set to look at detailed investigation reports by the CBI as well as the West Bengal government and suggest further action from here. This comes as the CBI continues to grill former principal of the college and hospital, Sandeep Ghosh. His questioning has continued for 6 consecutive days now. The State Health Department cancelled the appointment of Sandeep Ghosh as the principal of National Medical College and Hospital following the Calcutta High Court's directive. Meanwhile, Professor Manas Kumar Bandopadhyay has been appointed as the principal of RG. The West Bengal government has also removed 3 senior officials from the hospital in response to protests by the doctors. Additionally, around 150 CISF personnel are being deployed at RG Medical College and Hospital. Following an order by the Supreme Court, the force is expected to secure the resident doctors' hostel and other facilities. The developments are being closely watched as widespread protests continue to demand speedy justice across the country. Former Indian cricketer Sourav Ganguly was also seen taking part in a candlelight protest in Kolkata, demanding justice for the victim with his family. Of course, this is a case which has gripped the country since the 9th of August. The horrific rape and murder of the victim in RG Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata has caused nationwide protests. Doctors across the country are protesting. The Supreme Court asked doctors to return to regular service. This was the day before yesterday when the Supreme Court took up the case suo motu. But doctors insisted on continuing with the protests till the verdict was heard, or at least till Thursday, when the Supreme Court is expected to now sit on the issue again, as today is the day when the CBI and the West Bengal government have been asked, to submit their reports. Visuals, as you can see, are protests continuing across the country, asking for justice. We want justice. That is what is echoing across the country, especially from the doctor community. Junior doctors, trainee doctors, interns, they've all taken to the streets asking for justice and asking for security. They had also demanded that there should be a new law proposed and tabled for protection of doctors. The Supreme Court has not taken that further into consideration, but has ensured that there will be security for the doctors and they can return to regular service. All right, for more, as of now, these are shots coming from the Supreme Court, live shots, as we can see. You can see Kapil Sibal sitting there in front, of course. And this is the hearing. We will be tracking the developments coming in closely from the Supreme Court. D.Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India, is looking into the matter. Personally, the Supreme Court has taken this up suo motu of its own accord and has come down heavily on the West Bengal government and the hospital. The Supreme Court questioned the hospital on why it did not file the FIR, why there was a delay in filing the FIR. It came down very heavily on the West Bengal government for ensuring that it does not use state machinery against peaceful protesters. These were some of the key takeaways from the previous hearing. The Supreme Court had also asked the CBI and the government to produce their reports and their findings from their investigations on Thursday. For more on this, our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur is joining us on the phone line. Dharam, it's Thursday. Of course, this is the day when the investigation reports have to be submitted to the Supreme Court. What can we expect from the hearing today?
Well, Shivan, as you mentioned, we're still waiting for the hearing to begin. Currently, other matters that were listed are being heard out in the Supreme Court right now. But as you rightly mentioned, we heard in the first hearing how the Supreme Court had come down hard on the state government machinery in terms of all the delays that took place when the horrific incident took place on August 9. So pertaining to that, the SC had then asked the CBI to file a status report in terms of a fast-track investigation to bring out details, since we were seeing a lot of conflicting reports in the media and otherwise also pertaining to this particular case. So we are definitely expecting the probe agency to put out the latest findings that they have as far as the investigation is concerned. Last evening, we also saw that some of the top officials of the college were sacked. So that may be something that the report might also have a mention of. There are also parallel updates that are coming in terms of a former superintendent from the hospital claiming that the principal was involved in some sort of financial, misgivings and misdoings. So there was some sort of a racketeering system. All of these are reports that have been coming out since yesterday. So the odds are that all of these findings, all of these observations by the probe agency will also have been taken note of, and we're expecting to find all of these reflecting in the report soon now.
Dharam, of course, the doctors, the Supreme Court had asked, rather requested the doctors that they can return to regular service. All right, Dharam, we'll come back to you. We're listening into the hearing as of now.
People who need the services the most are deprived of their services. That's the only concern. How does the public health infrastructure run if the doctors don't resume work?
Lord, only my Lord.
All right, now first let's have the status report. We first want to see
Lord,
the
these
status
are the three copies. Lord, I believe the anguish of the doctor is correct, but having come from your lordships, an assurance that your lordships are looking into it, my Lord, I think that should satisfy.
Malaja.
With the assurance of no adverse action, my lords.
Lords, we are absolutely grateful to your lordships that lordships have intervened. Lords, we have not been heard, my lords, at all. Our grievances, my lord, are at the forefront because we are, my lord, facing the brunt of this, my lord, whatever is happening.
The reason why we constituted such a broad-based committee is we have specifically said that the committee shall engage with all stakeholders, including, that will include the resident doctors. So please assure them, that the committee, one second, Mr. Ansariya. Please assure the resident doctors, they all are young doctors, that they will be heard by the...
heard, my lord, and some representation...
But tell us one thing, we can hear you, Mr. Kamath, we hear you for half an hour. We are not the committee. Ultimately, you have to be heard by the committee.
Yes, what we were requesting, my lord, some, my lord's association, whatever your lordship choose, some representative from the Resident Doctors Association, if they can be a part of the committee.
Yes.
So their voice...
One second, Mr. Ansariya.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying.
You see, please understand.
We leave it to your lordships, my lord.
Mr. Kamath, please understand. We have thought through this very carefully. If we start now asking for the representatives of various stakeholders to be a part of the committee, that becomes an impossible process because, the committee's work will then get dislocated. You know what happens. You have such an experience yourself. At the same time, we are conscious of the fact that the primary concerns of the doctors, the nurses, the paramedical staff, has to be taken into account by the members of the committee. You know, for two things, that on the committee, we have very senior women doctors on the committee. The doctors who are on the committee are people who have worked for a long time in their life as part of public health infrastructure. So therefore, what we have expected the committee to do is that the committee will hear these various stakeholders, namely the interns, the residents, the senior residents, representatives of the nurses, the other paramedical staff. So therefore, they are in a hospital, there are a huge number of stakeholders. The committee will ensure that it will hear representative...
In fact, I have taken instructions. I represent about 30,000 doctors.
Please, and Mr. Kamath, please tell them that the committee will definitely give them a hearing. We'll reiterate that in our order today. You will certainly, Mr. Kamath, your point is well taken. We'll make it clear.
My lords.
Absolutely, Mr. Kamath, we are grateful to you actually for personally, because our hearts go out to all those people who have to go to public hospitals. So we will make an observation that the committee would hear all stakeholders, including the Resident Doctors Association. Of course, not 30,000 doctors, but a representative.
Non-partisan application.
Right. And an appointment can be given to them when the committee assembles, so that the committee can, because your stake is very high and your inputs are very valuable. So please assure the resident doctors that we were now passing an order that the committee will give them a representative voice in putting forth their grievances, their working conditions, so on and so forth.
Suggestions.
Our suggestion.
And then call off their protest.
We will also say that.
I appear for the RG car.
Can I?
Mr. Ansari and then Mr.
Yes.
Lord, I appear for the Delhi Medical Association.
Yes.
Lord, we filed a writ petition in 2022, Lord, raising the same grievance.
Right.
This court says, as and when any incident happened, Lord, we are grateful to your Lordship. Lordship could suo motu, otherwise we were contemplating to file. There is a judicial order there, any order, Lord, any incident happened, then you come to us, Lord. Lord, now, Lord, we are the association of 110 years old. As Mr. Kamath has said, my Lord, there is a being a part of the committee.
Can we just suggest one thing?
Yes, my lord.
Because in such a large matter,
Yes.
we have to bring
Yes.
some order to the
My lord.
order to the order also, which we pass.
Please, Lord, sir.
If all of you who are intervening for various bodies
Yes,
can give on a slip of paper
yes,
name of the body
yes.
and whom you represent,
Very well.
we will put that in our order.
I understand.
So that your clients have that assurance that look, the Supreme Court is also factored in our
I understand. Lord, that will be very useful.
So then we will say that out of these, the committee may take an appropriate decision on engaging with the representative.
All that-